I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the swamp.
Hello and welcome to another installment of Liberty Nation's Swamponomics videocast. I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor. This week, the U.S. labor market. Now hiring or not? If you took a quick look at the August jobs report, you will see that the August jobs numbers were okay. Good, but not great. The U.S. economy created 142,000 new jobs. The unemployment rate dipped to 4.2%. Average hourly earnings rose 0.4% month over month and increased to 3.8% year over year. Even average weekly hours enjoyed a tepid boost. But as Liberty Nation News has reported over the last couple of years, what matters is underneath the hood because the engine is blowing smoke. This time, it was not the household survey which removes duplications that was the issue. Instead, it was pretty much everything else. First, the revisions. Oh my, the revisions! Oh, the humanity! They were quite sizable. The July jobs numbers, which triggered a 3-day meltdown in early August, were adjusted lower from 114,000 to 89,000. The June jobs numbers were changed lower from 179 to 118,000. So far in 2024, employment gains have been revised lower to the tune of nearly 400,000. Now, let's look at what sectors are creating the jobs. Outside of construction, many of the new positions were created in government and industries that are directly or indirectly tied to the government. More specifically, the government added 24,000 jobs. The healthcare sector created 31,000 positions, and social assistance expanded payrolls by 13,000. Manufacturing has flatlined over the last year, and according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, has, quote, shown little net change over the year. In August, the sector hemorrhaged 24,000 jobs. Government adds 24,000 and manufacturing sheds 24,000. Goods producing industry is losing jobs while the taking industry is gaining employment. That should be a recipe not for disaster. Anyway, here's another often underreported trend in the US labor market. The gap between full-time and part-time jobs. In August, full-time employment created by more than 400,000. At the same time, part-time jobs surged by more than 527,000. This has been a trend for more than a year. But don't worry, if you can't find a full-time job, you can be one of the record 8.53 million individuals who are working 2 or more jobs, a statistic that increased last month. Another notable trend has been the canyon-sized gap between US-born and foreign-born workers. Since October 2019, the number of US-born employees has tumbled to around 2 million. By comparison, the number of foreign-born employees has risen by approximately 3 to 4 million. The Department of Labor includes both legal and illegal immigrants in this measurement. So even in the last 12 months, foreign-born workers are up more than 2 million jobs, and native-born workers are down 400,000, or approximately. In the end, after all the revisions, the US economy created 1.33 million new jobs in the first 8 months of 2024. So how can you summarize today's labor landscape? It's simple. People are working for the government, working 2 or more jobs to combat price inflation, and non-US born workers are obtaining a sizable portion of all new positions. Once again, while the headline numbers do not suggest it is time to panic, it does highlight that the US labor market is unwinding and could signal the nation is in the beginning stages of a recession. It explains why the public is worried about US economic conditions. New York Fed data show that fear of losing one's job in the coming months has hit Great Recession levels. But while Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell admitted in his Jackson Hole Economic Symposium speech that the labor market is no longer an inflation contributor, many of the data points indicate that inflation is higher than the official numbers. Whether reservation wage data, which measures the minimum salary workers will take, or the stagflation prints of the Institute for Supply Management and S&P Global PMIs. 2025 should be a fascinating year for a plethora of reasons. as Betty Davis uttered in the classic film All About Eve.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
That's it for me this week. Please read my full Swamponomics column on the pages of LibertyNation.com, and be sure to check out my previous Swamponomics TV videos and interviews. Liberty Nation does not endorse candidates or campaigns or legislation, and this presentation is no endorsement. Thank you.
I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the swamp.